want to find the treasure, they want to find it now. They are Kpro and they are Cow. They're going over it and over it and over it again. This treasure hunt created by Forrest Fenn. Sing it! Kpro Cow Pow Wow. Kpro Cow Pow Wow Wow. It's the Kpro Cow Pow Wow. Marion and Indy are what they're like, although their real names are Christy and Mike. Can they pin down the treasure? They just might. Tune in to find out Monday night.
Monday nights. Well, today is a Monday, June 21st. Hope everybody, all the fathers out there, had a good Father's Day. We took a break last Monday, so Kpro, can you believe it has been 2 weeks since we've done a Forrest Fenn Treasure Found video?
Actually, with all of the things on our agenda tonight, I believe it, dear sir.
Yeah, there's a lot happening. Kpro's got all the info, all the breaking news. And again, we provide a place for everybody still out there interested in the ending of the Thrill of the Chase to come together and talk. So I want to remind everybody to thumbs the video up for Kpro's thumbnails, if anything. Make sure Super Chat's on if you have a question you just have to ask. Kpro's going to be going through a lot of info tonight, so I'm going to monitor the chat. So if you want me to ask Kpro something, Super Chat's one way, but also just put at Cowlazars or Cowlazars in the chat, and that way I will make sure I ask Kpro your question. And yeah, what's up, Albert? How is everybody doing out there on a
Am I back in Vegas? Look
Monday?
at my world. I'm back in Vegas.
There's the Command Treasure Hunting bookshelf. That's right.
This will probably be the most important thing. I'm heading to Utah tomorrow. I am.
Uh-oh, everybody. So for people who don't know, tell them why you're heading to Utah, because Utah was ruled out by Forrest Fenn. You know that, right?
I know, and it's crazy. And the Forrest Fenn hunt's over. And so there's this little hunt called UtahTreasureHunts.com. I think Indy needs credit for putting it up on the Grand Adventure. I started getting into it, and then I thought, oh, it's already had its first hint. It's been out a couple of days. But it's only 5, 6, 7 maybe hour drive. It's within a day. So I'm thinking of going in the morning. And then I have a spot probably in mind, but I've had a couple people that are saying, would you go to my spot for me? We'll split it 50-50 minus expenses. So I put it up on the Grand Adventure. I will search other people's spots for them. If you contact me at Kpro3@AOL.com, if you want me to search your area, I will search it, but if I already have somebody in that particular park or trail or whatever, I won't listen to your song. But I already have 2 different people in 2 different areas. And so I'm taking Ste A2. She crushed it on Boots on the Ground clothing. She's going to pick it up. Her friends are into it. They're looking at the poem. So, and Bobby D saying it's going to be found tomorrow. Yes, by Ste A2, Bobby D. So,
yeah, I think Bobby D means somebody else. We'll see. Sounds like Bobby D paired up with somebody, but we'll see.
Yeah, Bobby
It'll
D.
be a good vacation anyway.
A bunch of people that we know are in this one. The hardest part is getting close enough. It's kind of like Copper Dan's when it was 12 of us. When 12 of us all had it solved, but it's like, how fast can we get a plane ticket there? It's kind of one of those right now. So we are on for, you know what? Even if we get halfway there and it's found, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, so I put the link in the chat if anybody wants to check it out. If you're in the Utah area or close by, check it out. It is supposed to be $10,000 in a box. It's not a proxy item. The actual money is in a little treasure chest waiting to be found. Just came out Saturday. So good luck on that one, everybody. And then also there's the one in Minnesota going on. How is everybody doing on that one, our Minnesota friends? He came on. That was, I have to look it up real quick. But that's the one happening in Minnesota. I want to make sure I get it right. And I don't think it's too late to buy in because it hasn't been found yet. He said he was surprised. He thought it'd be found by now.
Yeah.
So as soon as I get that one, I'll put the link up.
Okay. Well. But tonight is all about Forrest Fenn. Tonight, there's so many updates. So those of you that don't know, we did a meetup. We had 5 people in the middle of North Carolina still wanting to talk about the Forrest Fenn treasure hunt. It's kind of interesting because not one thought Jack found it without any nudge, or Jack found it at all. So it was universal, even though it was only a sample size of 5. For you statistics majors out there, the sample size was low, but we had a really good time. Talk treasure. We got a gift somewhere. We got a gift. Oh, here it is. I showed this on the Thursday shows, but those of you that don't watch the Thursday show, this is a wedding gift. And I want to show you my frog. There's my frog.
There's a spaceship in there. There's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, there's a spaceship in there for Mike, for right there.
Real quick, reallifetreasurehunt.com is one going on in Minnesota right now. Uh-oh, what happened here? Why can't I post? reallifetreasurehunt.com. Good luck, Jacob. That's his treasure hunt.
Okay, so we talked about the meetup. So let's get into many of the things that we are going to be talking about tonight. Put at Kpro as well if you want me to try to stop. I'm kind of letting Mike man the chats because we have a lot to talk about. So let's first start with what we call Nookgate and Shrine Gate, so, or affectionately known as Cynthia debacle.
Nah.
So those of you that have not been around on Facebook, Cynthia posted a lid of the treasure chest at the GPS location on our Facebook page with no explanation. I talked to her on the phone because a lot of people were like, oh, is this real? Well, it said something like, this picture was recently sent to me. And then a picture of the shrine. And it's obvious that the 2 pictures were taken at the exact same time or within a couple hours because even the pine needles hadn't moved. So I talked to her. She wasn't able to give an explanation because she is under an NDA. It is media related. My guess, and this is only my guess, is that they're going to do some sort of scene where it was me and her and Justin and the dog heading out there. And that's what we envisioned. But when we got there, there was nothing. If you looking down, oh shoot, I need Dan's book too, because we're going to go over edits there. If you look in Dan's book, she did have a replica top lid made. So that's what I think happened. All she would say is she's under an NDA, but I'm like, but you posted the picture, you silly goose. I don't think she meant to upset anybody. I did tell her, I know she's in a different spot because she gets to go up. She's back up in, those of you that don't know, she's right now at Old Faithful with Dale. But she's in a different spot. So when she, especially kind of being a searcher in the know with Forrest, when she posts something like that without an explanation, it puts some people in frustration mode and negative mode. And I don't think she wanted to do that. But right on the cusp of that, a couple days later, she had the shrine, which is what we call it, at the log at, she did a video. It's only a minute or 2 long. And she basically took all of the items at the shrine of GPS and put them in her backpack. And a lot of people got upset and she didn't understand why. So I called her, or maybe she called me, I don't know. She was like, why are people upset? And I said, okay. She's like, the spot was really only special to me, you and Justin. And it was a moment that we had that was so cool. But after that, we found out it wasn't the case. And I'm like, right, we're always going to have that moment, right? She's like, yeah. And I said, and if it becomes something different later, a different location, she's like, well, I have these things. These things would have been thrown away by the park. I didn't want them thrown away. They're special to somebody. I'm like, right, but that might have been kind of like you and I. We had a special moment there. Maybe somebody was there with their dad or their search partner, or that's where they got their closure and said, this is good enough for me, I'm done. And she's like, man, I didn't think about it that way. So she did not do it with malice. I'm throwing away stuff. She's always said she's going to keep it. She said to me, I'm going to make it right. I don't know if she's putting it back there, what she's going to do. I'm not going to speak for her. But for especially me that was grumpy at her over both incidents, or really the first one, the lid gate, she has the best of intentions. Just like we put 5 exclamation points when we thought something was confirmed. Some of you have forgiven us now over it. It wasn't intentional.
People can get excited when they think they figured something out. But I understand why she did it now. There was a film crew trying to do a recreation. All that's fine now that we understand what it was. And, you know, I posted in our Facebook group, Cowlazars and Kpro's Grand Adventure. I said, why would Cynthia pick up other people's stuff? And somebody reached out and said, well, actually, birds or animals can actually die from that stuff. I guess that's a thing if you leave something behind. And when they put it that way, I thought, well, okay, actually, I can see that then. That kind of makes sense. You know, the shiny necklaces, whatever, birds can get down there, get tangled up in it, etc. Okay, you know, I mean,
well, and her bigger thing was, I didn't talk to her about that piece, but if the park goes out there, if they find a wallet, they have to keep it. If they find a trinket, that trinket will be thrown away. But what if it was somebody's something that they always went out, like a coin? They wouldn't keep the coin. They'd probably throw it. So she just wanted to make sure it wasn't thrown. I have somewhere around here, one of the Fenbury treasure boxes. Forrest used to put her in charge of get everything from the Fenbury shrine and keep it. And she actually had to put it in her attic because it got so large. She gave me one of the little treasure boxes somebody made for Kpro because she's like, now I'm not keeping all of this stuff. She's moved, etc. So when she said in one of the comments, somebody said, who put you in charge of it? And she's like, the Forrest Fenn estate. She did not mean she's on official like
that was
payroll.
nothing new.
She just meant like, I've done this for years and I was doing it with best of intent. But we got to give her benefit of the doubt. She's good people, but she laughed at me though. She did see about Lidgate. She's like, you were mad at me at the beginning of the show and then you were coming around by the end. She's like, I didn't mean it that way. I'm like, of course you didn't. Cynthia's good people. So.
Well, the other thing I think of is if I leave something behind anywhere out in the woods, I expect somebody to come along behind me and pick it up. If I leave a Forrest Fenn searcher coin, I'm kind of leaving it for somebody to find. So people who left whatever they wanted to leave at where they thought the spot was, somebody else is going to come along and pick it up. I mean, that's just kind of how it works, right? Out in the woods.
Right.
So that's okay. It's kind of like the circle of life type thing. So yeah. That's okay. Packer Jack says, what are the odds of Kpro wanting the frog and Cowlazars and Kpro buying a storage locker that contained a Packers frog? Confirmation bias on my part. I think not. We still have those 3 Packers items if anybody out there is interested in buying them. Which one of them is a Green Bay Packers frog, actually, and one's a.
I have somebody that wants to see a picture of all that stuff. Send it to me, and I'll send it on.
Yeah.
And I do want to talk about purchasing of the treasure chest, and by the end. Okay, I need to get Dan's book. So here is what happened. I'll tee it up, but I'm going to talk about it in a little bit because I actually forgot Dan's book downstairs. So do you guys remember we were doing the Dan interview? And I kept needing my book and kept needing. Mike wanted the electronic. I was like, I need a hard copy. And it got lost in the mail. Well, we had the interview on Thursday. And so on Sunday or Monday, his publicist said, can I just give you I can't give you the Kindle version. Can I just give you the version that was there before the edits? And I'm like, sure you can.
Before it was edited. So you know what Kpro did because we now have both copies.
I know Rudy Green is in the house. Rudy, if you could help me do it a little bit more systematically, I literally I had the hard copy book and I went like this. And I know I missed some because I went back and I found another one. And I am going to talk to not the little edits. If a comma was changed or a paragraph, hard stop was changed, who cares? But there was some content changes that I just think are interesting. They're not groundbreaking, but they're interesting enough of why was that changed, I wonder. So I think I have 3 or 4 that I want to share. I haven't gone through every single little bit, but I want to share that in a minute. But let's first talk about, let's see. I have a long email back and forth with Jack. We can go over that, why he's sharing bits and pieces with the community. One of the questions is, how's he holding up right now? That sort of thing. I have that one. And then what did Forrest Fenn make the blaze? And then Alan Kay shared something on Susie's show and then again on Indy's show on Saturday that contradicts a little bit of what Jack said in the Medium article. And so it doesn't a little, it does a lot. And so I don't know if Jack's starting to change his story. So where do we want to start? Do we want to start with Forrest man-made blaze, Forrest made the blaze, Alan Kay's response for Jack, or the 3-part long email?
Well, Forrest made the blaze. Let's talk about that one because that was always being a big point of contention. Did Forrest use a blaze that was already there, or did he actually make it? Are you saying that's answered?
Well, some believe so. Gallatin shared this on Indy Show a couple weeks back, and I actually interpreted it differently, but some people said, wait a minute. So if you could go to Dale's new site, please.
Oh, somebody sent me that link because I don't have it offhand.
Okay, somebody sent him that link.
Somebody send me the link. Indy, send me Dale's new link, please. Website link on Facebook real quick.
Okay, so as you're waiting for that, let's go over Oh, I have something on that too. I'm not as organized as I want to be. So let's go over Alan Kelly's. So in the Medium article, this is why I need a PowerPoint. I told you, Mike, I needed a PowerPoint. In the PowerPoint article, in the Medium article that Jack put out initially about the fake blaze, this is exactly what he said, word for word. Quote, a cruel fellow searcher, even though it had been evidently out there for years, that the fake blaze was by a cruel fellow searcher, even though it had evidently been out there for years. Now, okay, you're gonna have to go to, they posted it.
Yeah, I got it.
Alan Kelly asked specifically, when do you estimate the fake blaze was built? Was it more near 2000 or more near 2010? And his response was, I'm quoting here, I think I got this right, Alan. I replayed it a few times because you read it. My best guess is at least a year before I found it, but it's hard to say. Now he's saying at least a year, but that's not years. So when I was out at the GPS Solve, they had the notches out of the trees.
Yeah, those have been there a long time.
Right. I would say those were there 8, 9, 10 years because they weren't fresh. They were really, the bark was completely off of it and it was super thick, all of that. So do we think, some people believe right now that the fake blaze is still out there because Jack is just slipping up and now he's kind of doing what Forrest Fenn probably had to do, is put countermeasures out there. What do you think between, it had evidently been out there for years versus my best guess is at least a year before I found it? That is hard to say though.
I don't know. I mean, do you want me to show this from Dale's blog?
I want to stay on this one first before we move to the next one.
What's the question again?
If it's a nothing burger to you, we can move on.
No, go ahead. What is it again? What's the question again?
So in Jack's original Medium article, it seemed like he was saying it had been out there a long, long, long time.
The fake blaze or the real blaze?
Yeah, the fake blaze.
Okay, right.
It had evidently been out there for years, is what he said. Now he's saying, my best guess is at least a year before I found it, but it's hard to say. Does that sound contradictory or no?
It sounds like he doesn't know. I mean, so in other words, does it look weathered? Did it look aged? And if something looks aged, is it aged from a year or for a couple of years? I wouldn't be able to tell that. You know what I mean? So no, I don't think he's being contradictory. I just think he doesn't know how long it's been out there, but it definitely looks like it was a year or more type thing.
He's saying a year or more. I took it before that it was probably 10 years, and now he's saying he can't even tell if it was a year old. Interesting.
Yeah. It really depends what it is, and without knowing what it is, it's hard to make the call. But he did say, and we talked about this before, he did say that he has dismantled it or changed it so people won't recognize it anymore, right? I mean,
yes, he's done damage in the forest, the only person so far.
Right. So he does say he has changed it so people won't be able to recognize it. So if you're looking for that fake blaze, according to Jack, you're not going to find it. So
now if you will bring up Dale's site, go to emails I got from Forrest or something like that. About
this blaze right here. So this is from September 28th, 2012. So this is from Forrest, sent this way back in 2012.
Yep.
He says, Dale, if the searchers leave a blaze after they finish looking for the treasure, then the next guy may think it is my blaze. What about tying a ribbon on a tree or nailing some kind of object to a tree? If everyone does the same thing, that it will not be confused with what I did. Maybe nailing a calling card to an abandoned tree or a barn or whatever is near where they thought the treasure was. F. That's interesting. If only there was like a coin people could leave behind to let people know where they searched. But anyway, that is interesting.
Let's focus on the part that says, let's say it will not be confused with what I did. See, I took it a little different. And Indy's now, I think, between Gallatin, Indy, whoever else was on that show, whatever I did. So if they leave something around the tree, it won't be confused with what I did, because what I did was blah, blah, blah. That means he created the blaze.
Well, I mean, it says then the next guy may think it is my blaze. Now, does that mean it's Forrest Blaze that he created it, or does it just mean my blaze that I'm referring to in my poem? I think you can go either way.
But go down 2 lines. Does the same thing that it will not be confused with what I did.
Oh,
Now
yeah, that's true. For God's sakes, you just proved it. And you said this is what Candy said in Gallatin Ghost?
I don't know who to give credit to. It was on
Okay.
Candy Show. Go subscribe. It's either Candy or Gallatin, one of the crew over there. They come up with amazing things. I discounted it the first time I read it, and now it's talk of the town, baby.
And was this posted on September 28th, 2012 on Dale's blog, or did Dale hold it until now?
Dale is holding that. Now he's pulling all the secrets. And nothing
what
was
a tangled
like
web we weave when
Isn't
we
that
don't post stuff from Forrest on the website. Yeah, that's exactly. Forrest said to not be confused with what I did. That does mean Forrest created the blaze, everybody. In my opinion, that's how I read it. And that's breaking news. I'll do it again because I had not heard that before right now. So that's interesting. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. That's pretty huge.
Nice. Okay. So let's go into
to go back real quick, to go back to what you said about the GPS Nook. You had two squares kind of notched out of logs, right? If Forrest would have done that, let's just say in 2010 when he hid the treasure, would those have looked like that 10 years later, do you think? In other words, could those have been
not exactly the same? No.
I'm sorry?
10 years it would have been weathered. After a year, it would have been obvious that he just did it.
Right. Okay. I agree with that.
Yeah.
So whatever Forrest did, we have to realize it has been out there for 10 years or more. He could have done this before he hid the treasure chest, possibly when he had it in his mind, he was going to go forward with it. I guess. I mean, that's an interesting thought. Did he make the blaze when he hid the treasure chest? Nobody ever asked him that question.
Because no one ever thought he made the blaze. Right. Now, do you remember when Cynthia said she was told by Forrest that none of the clues were man-made, and Forrest went ballistic and told Cynthia to take it back? It was up on Chase Chat, take it back. And Cynthia wouldn't. And she always wondered, did that mean why? Well, she swears he said that, but sometimes you forget. So
Candy does clarify it was Gallatin and her together.
Okay.
So that's good when Candy, good when Gallatin goes. Yeah, I mean, that says Forrest did it. Forrest made that blaze. Yeah, that is very interesting. Disinformation, everybody. Who knows? Well, who knows who's putting stuff out there? But I mean, that's from Forrest in an email to Dale himself. So
yes. Okay. So that's now, okay, we're done with that one because we brought the breaking news. Let's bring the next breaking news. So I have a searcher that there's some people in the search community that understand you don't have to be friends with everyone, but you can be friends with people that maybe aren't on the same page. Like Jack and I wouldn't say we're BFFs right now, but it's someone that I think respects me because he does pass along some of his emails to me, and respects Jack because he's going under the assumption that Jack is answering things honestly, he is the finder, etc. Jack and him have had some exchanges, and he does let him know, I'd like to pass this on to Kpro. Jack doesn't say, no, she's evil. He said, he just leaves it at that. So this person does think there's more to the story, but believes that Jack has given us what he honestly believes is the story. So he has shared quite a lengthy email with me with some clarifications back and forth. He would prefer his name. I know you're in chat. Hello. Thank you. He would prefer his name not to be shared.
Whisper it to me.
Person.
Right.
And I don't even ask why. Some people, I know why, because people are insane. Some of the people are predators in this community, and we know it. And so, but he did want me to kind of frame it that this is a positive. I know some people are doing some shenanigans of putting in fake emails and things, and they're not friends of Jack's, and they're pretending to be to get information. I think this person's genuine. So you can form your own opinions of this, but this is from the words of Jack, and I have been getting permission to share this person's words and then what Jack responds to. And if Jack has any issues or doesn't, by some chance, doesn't have this email or say it's not his.
So this person emailed Jack, and you're about to read that question and Jack's response. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. I'm going off Kpro's word. There's breaking news. Here we go, everybody.
I'm going to warn you, it's a little long, but I like the exchange. Okay. The person wrote, I would not consider myself part of the search community since the treasure chest has been found, and I'm enjoying watching searchers, the drama, the bias, and the struggles to accept the conclusion that we have. But I realize that it has an impact on you as a real human being who does not deserve some of the drama that's being piled on you. I am hoping you would answer a few questions about how you're holding up to address the couple of contradictions that is causing some of this confusion.
Contradiction.
Number one, I have been wondering a lot about how you are holding up through all of this. What are your thoughts on the search community and what are your feelings about it? How are you feeling and coping on a daily basis since you found the treasure? That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, I am trying to wrap my head around what I am seeing as contradictions in a couple of things you've said. You've indicated that when you figured out the location of the treasure from a combination of slip-ups and the poem, there was no doubt in your mind that you had the correct location. I had asked you earlier if it was to the exclusion of all others, and you indicated that it was. And yet you are not confident that the location will not be discovered, even though those same resources are available to searchers now. To me, those two ideas contradict each other. I cannot tell if the confidence was confirmation bias that turned out right, and that is why no one else will find it, or, in capital letters, if the location was given and explained through a book/poem, a majority of the searchers will instantly accept it as the location. Okay, there's a lot to unpack there.
Mm-hmm.
Number three, there's only 3 parts.
All right.
Number three, but this actually shows the interchange because it's long back and forth.
Okay.
Number three, another contradiction I noticed has to do with the words. There are a lot of words that have been used to describe different locations, and it tends to get me confused. Obviously, the nook, quote unquote, nook, is a special spot, probably 1 square foot-ish, where the treasure chest sat. There are other phrases like Fenn's special spot and treasure location, search area. When Fenn wanted to die, etc., I see them used interchangeably, and it leads to confusion. For example, when Fenn wanted to die, could it be the small area that as a sitting under a specific tree, or could it mean something slightly bigger, like a specific plateau, or bigger area like a native reservation, game preserve, or even Wyoming? It would help eliminate some of the contradictions if we know how you would define some of these words or phrases. Thank you for your time and consideration. Okay, you ready for the responses now?
Yeah.
I like the questions. X person, I certainly do not have confidence that nobody else will figure it out. Someone else could, but the fact that far fewer people are trying is important to know. But without the treasure in place, I think it is very doubtful someone could recognize the blaze as such at this point. Location and search area are interchangeable. At least they are concerning me searching. The nook is a specific spot at the location where he wanted to die, but the reason for him wanting to die there is broader than just the precise spot where his body and treasure would have been.
So the place he wanted to die is a broader spot than just the treasure chest?
Yes. So I take that to mean the exact spot he wanted to die might have been a little more secluded, but he wanted to die in the area of DeLacy Creek that had a shaded area and a fishing hole and a this and a that.
Right.
But he was in the shaded area, but that's just to keep it shaded. That specific 1 by 1 foot isn't important. It's more of the bigger picture. Is that how you took it?
I guess. Okay. Yeah, this one we should have put in a PowerPoint. No way everybody could have read it, but oh, sorry. We didn't have time. That's all. This question, that's all. All right. Okay. Keep going. So, okay.
Oh, there's so much more. Okay. So this person wrote back, thank you. I spent time considering what you have said. So many people think there are contradictions everywhere regarding the ending of the sun. That creates doubt and confusion. I think the doubt and confusions are easily cleared up by looking at the fact and understanding there's information we don't know that will clear up any contradictions. It seems to me that you are saying the search area location of the treasure is a bigger area. The nook, which we will not be able to identify because there's no longer a blaze or treasure, will never be known. The bigger area, search area / location, is what you discovered through the slip-ups. Question.
Well, he just said there's no blaze or treasure. Does that mean not that Jack disabled the blaze? It's just that because it was damaged, we might not be able to find
He
it.
said you cannot, it is not readable. So yeah.
Jack said that?
Jack has said that.
Okay.
Because of its brokenness. I'm not waiting for him. Okay, question. If you secretly underlined, release the slip-ups. Well, I should probably wait for him because he's going to want to comment. You guys know, I don't have the chat up, so I don't even know what you guys are saying. So I waited for you, Mike, because this is important.
Okay, right.
Question. If you secretly underlined, release the slip-ups and your thoughts on the poem, would the majority of people that hunted for the treasure agree on the treasure location of the treasure? Is it that obvious to sane people anyway? I assumed early on the treasure could not be found based on the poem, the book, and it would take something else like what you researched to find it. You challenged my thoughts when you told me earlier that was no doubt in your mind and that the poem and book will lead to one area to the exclusion of others. Would a majority of sane others agree with you if you secretly release the location? Thank you for all you've shared. We're lucky that you found it. You know, thank you, Jack, stroking ego. I mean that affectionately, Jack. Okay, Jack's answers. Well, it depends on what you mean by my thoughts. Obviously, my brain knows where it is.
Say it again.
Well, it depends on what you mean by my thoughts, because he said above, what are your thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
If you secretly release the slip-ups and your thoughts, and he's saying it depends on what you mean by my thoughts. Obviously, my brain knows where it is.
What the
That's the totality of the answer, which
answer is that?
I appreciate this searcher being so receptive to Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Jack, that's a jerk answer. I'm sorry.
Right.
So he wrote back and said, good point. Because this guy writes this lot and Jack does oh, my brain knows it.
Right.
He wrote, good point. I wasn't clear at all. I think I was referring to your thoughts before you actually found the treasure. So many people, even now, are confident in their solution, even though it's in the wrong state or just plain crazy to other searchers. I guess I'm wondering if before you found the chest, you'd given your reason for identifying the search area and from slip-ups to the community, would a majority of people assume you were in the right track if you didn't have the treasure chest yet? Jack's answer, and this is the last part. That's difficult for me to say. People have wildly disparate ideas. If I'd say majority people who had at least someone similar perspective, I would say they definitely would.
So Jack's saying if it did come out, reasonable people, maybe people not obsessed, people that can look at the poem and the clues objectively would agree that that's the spot. Is that what I heard?
That's how I took it.
That's what Jack's saying.
Right.
I would hope that's true because then everybody could say, yes, Forrest Fenn's 9 clues, made sense. They're logical. That's the spot.
Now, there's part of the exchange. Hold on. I have a dog.
The one I just let in goes right up to the Kpro.
So the one thing, and I saw in a part of the email, I think he must have cropped it. He said the reason that he's giving it out is because he knows the people smart enough to find it are going to keep it secret. I need to find that part of the email. Okay, so that's my third part. So Mike, as I describe fairy tales, would you mind grabbing Dan's book that's at the couch and bring it up so we don't have dead air space? Okay, Mike said yes. Okay, so some of you, I described on our Thursday show 2 weeks ago what was happening with fairy tales, why they're down, etc. But a lot of you can see tonight we have 229 people. We have usually about 100, if that, on our other rest of the amusement park. So I want to describe what has happened and when it comes to fairy tales, and I actually have an update as of the last 24 hours. Jack might not be in Puerto Rico, but some of his answers. Okay.
What's up?
I read part of a comment that I'm not going to read the rest of. Okay. Did you find?
Yeah, I got the book.
No, I need it, darling.
You didn't say that part.
Did I say that part, you guys? I thought I said he needs to bring the book to me.
Just say this much. There it is. Son of a. I'll just say that.
Don't act like you don't know about drugs when you do.
Okay. Mike, I love you sometimes. Okay, so the fairy tales. So I'm going to recap the fairy tales. And then I'm going to, okay, you guys have to, okay, old Shiloh, that's your last warning. Cut it out or be gone. Thank you, sir. Okay, so here's the deal with the fairy tales. The fairy tales were a light way. I didn't want another GPS gate where we put exclamation points. There was someone that I was interchanging with for quite a while who gave me this story. And the story in Fairy Tale 1 is loosely related to that. There were some key differences because I really wanted to engage the other people that were involved in the story. So my thought was, actually, I said to Mike, this is what happened. And he's like, that's hard to follow. Why don't you do it step by step, almost like a fairy tale? And then I thought, why not do it as a full-blown fairy tale? Because I did not have enough valid information other than a story, and a lot of the facts were lining up and being checked out. So by Fairy Tale 2, oh, okay, no, jerk sauce meaning like a jerk face, like a jerk, a brat, not like, okay, oh goodness, Shiloh, I'm sorry, old Shiloh, you gotta go, bye-bye. So on Fairy Tale 2, I decided to put in, if you were to look at it as a Halloween story, you wouldn't have followed any of it because it was all hidden in plain sight stuff. It was more ways to get the people that I was trying to not coax out, but get their attention to get their attention. By Fairy Tale 3, it worked. And I was able to spend some time with the people involved in this conspiracy theory. I spent quite a length of time explaining what I'd been given, the facts, a lot of the, like, I know the twins, I know the people now involved, I know a lot more context to the people that were involved in this. They have explained that they do know about the Forrest Fenn treasure, but there's a lot of conspiracy that is only conjecture, it's nothing more. So at this point, I got a little hesitant in leaving all this out here because though I told the community this was not for you to try to investigate, I had people begging me and saying, is it this person? Is it this person? That was exactly the wrong intent. And some people were frustrated that I wouldn't tell them. That's not what this was about. So I took those down and I have kind of put the baby to bed, except for yesterday, some new information came in. I don't know if I'm going to do a new fairy tale. This is the story that is like the penny that just comes back to you. It hasn't gone away yet. I thought it was gone away. I think I'm just going to circle back with the people involved and say, can this be a coincidence? Here's some additional information and leave it at that. So it was a rabbit hole I went down. I go down rabbit holes. When they become not valid, I circle back and I say we put the baby to bed, just like the GPS solve. Is it possible that the GPS solve is still the right one? It's possible, but there's more evidence than not. I'm not putting more time into the GPS solve because there's nothing more to investigate. Just like the fairy tale, until I have substantially more, and there's a bunch of research I need to do, unfortunately, because there's some really good new information related to that conspiracy that's happened. So don't try to go down the rabbit holes. That's why I pulled them. I don't want you to find these people, because if you do, the bad people will go after them. If somebody is innocent and not involved in this at all, would you want your family like contacted by crazy random searchers? No, we would want to see and investigate. Now, if they genuinely are, I'm going to bring that to you eventually. And I know some to this day, like Gross Proc says, GPS is the right one. It may be, but it is not an active rabbit hole that I go down at this point. So will you see a fairy tale 4? 2 days ago, I would have said no. Today, I'd say maybe, but probably not, just because I have the individual people now that I can make contact with, meet with, call, text, whatever I want to, because they went, That's me in the very tail end. And so I have their information now. Okay, so I do have to say, Grussbrock, GPS solve is the best because it gives you the most exact. I agree with you there. That's why I can't put it to bed. I just wish it was cleaner in the story. Anyway, what do you say about all that, Michael?
I say the GPS solve is still on the table. It's still possible that it is correct.
Yeah.
But
no chance, someone else says, and that's fine. And that's what this is about, is having the discussions. Okay, let's go on to Dustin Gate. Okay.
Our old friend Dustin.
So some of you, this has been talked about on Thor. Bobby D put it in Candy's chat. I think it was Candy's chat. I don't think it was it might have been Susie's chat. One of the chats on Saturday. There's a lot going on about this.
So we do have a question from Milan before we move on. He says, Kpro, I'm confused. Are you saying the fairy tale conspiracy is credible or not credible?
I'm going to put it more not credible than it is, but there's now some recent information. I would have put it at, I did the fairy tales because it was more than 50-50. Once I talked to the people involved, I went, maybe this is just the searcher too far in. Now I've gotten some evidence. So I'm maybe 50-50, not even 50-50 at this point. That's why I'm not really diving into it anymore. I'm not even 50-50, but it's not, the baby's not out with the bathwater because new information is just too coincidental for me to say, how can these people not be involved if this has happened recently? I don't know. So I'm going to say more towards no than yes. I don't know any of the people involved though, personally. So I can't say. I'm going off of, I just got another email today. Here's something that I need you to look into. I get 10 a week. Why this one? Because a lot of facts checked out.
Okay.
Okay. So the day that Forrest said he'd post on Thor when found. Why didn't he? Is there still a chase? No, he said he would tell me to post on Thor that the treasure chest had been found, and he did.
There's a question. Was Forrest actually on Thor himself or no? Did he have a username?
Yeah, I set him up with Forrest Fenn just because several people had tried to put Forrest Fenn. They tried to take his handle. So I set him up and I gave him a password on the first day. And he has never signed in. I checked just the other day. He has never signed into Thor since that day. It was back in 2018.
Okay.
2018. Okay. So here's what happened. Bobby, Anon, and a few others went back into our chat on the day that the treasure chest was found when we were on for like 4 hours. There was a gentleman by the name of Dustin White. We know Dustin. We've had dinner with Dustin. We've had shows with Dustin and DJ.
Yeah, Dustin's a friend.
Yeah, and he's really in the other hunts. He's really big in The Secret. He does an Oak Island podcast. Mm-hmm. He's kind of in the community because you can't ignore the big ride. But
could it be? Oh, sorry.
I wouldn't say he's like a finner. So So with that being said, he posted. I read that the finder's name is Jack.
Isn't this the night we went live when it was found? Oh, we should have found it and I could have played it. That would have been interesting. Just show it in the chat.
If you want to go on Thor, you can see the little clip.
Oh, okay.
Well, and I have the screen capture.
Okay.
So I felt like I knew Dustin well enough.
And what did he actually say again? Say it again. So the night we went live, June 6th, while we were live.
He said he had no idea what I was talking about. I sent him the screenshot. So let me find it. Oh my gosh, guys, I cannot answer all of those. I'll answer them after. Dustin. Okay. So he actually posted, this was the exact words.
Candy says, what the hell? Yeah, this was in the live chat. Okay, what did he post?
Someone in a group said a Jack found it. Jack.
So the name, this is the night it was found, way before the Medium article.
Yes.
And somebody pointed that out to us recently and we were like, what? Really? That's weird.
Right. So I messaged him and asked him, I said, hey, Dustin, I hope this message finds you well. I wanted to touch base with you as some were discussing your comments that you knew that the finder was Jack before he was outed. Some are pulling screenshots. I wanted to come to you directly to see if there's a backstory and any truth to these statements. Let me know. I hope you and Deidre are doing well, blah, blah, blah. So here was his answer. I'm pretty sure that you've asked me this once before. I hadn't, but that's okay.
Mm.
And the answer is the same. I've never heard of Jack until he was forced to reveal his identity. Never spoke to him, never met him, never emailed him, never messaged him. No two-way communication like ever. I left a comment on a YouTube video he had many years ago that his identity was revealed to say, congratulations, but that's it. The Fenn community seems to thrive on conspiracies, and I'll tell you that I'm not a part of this stuff, but will that convince people otherwise? ? LOL, doubtful. I got the thrill of the chase, but never put any effort into it. If people want to keep my name as possible linked to Jack, they can, but they're wasting their time. Of course, that's also what someone would say if they have the key to unraveling the answers in the Forrest Fenn community.
Okay, go ahead.
Like the mystery of how many licks to reach the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop. The world may never know. Hope you're doing well. These are just some personal stuff. Okay, go ahead. I have a whole exchange, but if you want.
No, I was just going to say, I think Dustin took the question the wrong way. Nobody's saying Dustin knew Jack or knows the location or any of that. It's, hey, Dustin, if you posted there was a group that said Jack found it, what's the group? Like, why'd you post that? What were you referring to? That's all. But he didn't answer actually any of that, did he?
Right. So so you could just let it play out, or you could. That's an easy segue to.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't ever link you to the Forrest Fenn Jack, but here's a screenshot of what you actually said on the day it was found.
So he says, hey, there is a group that says somebody named Jack found the treasure.
Let me read it exactly.
Okay. All right.
Where did it go? Oh, someone in a group said a Jack found it.
And that's it. Someone in a group said a Jack found it. Well, what group, Dustin? You posted it. So what were you, unless he just doesn't remember anymore, but it's like, what group are you talking about? Or did you, and if you just heard it from somebody, who'd you hear it from? That's all. That's all we want to know. Okay.
I said, so here's what I said. I said, I didn't ever link you to the Forrest Fenn or Jack part. I'm just reading exactly what you said, where you said someone named Jack. I told the people who sent it to me, I would ask you, and I feel honestly that I know you well enough that you will be honest, and I'm not going to head down a rabbit hole of you and the conspiracy. Maybe there's a certain group you can tell us to check. Thanks for responding. No idea, but here is the actual screenshot. Okay. So you ready for his response?
Yeah, let's hear it. I think I could have a possible answer from Hooli, but go ahead. Yeah.
Crazy random happenstance. I've got nothing to do with it. I must have seen that somewhere and relayed the info in an effort to participate and try to help. I wish the rumor was I saw Bob that found it. He said no connection whatsoever. It's fine though if you want to blame me and you can get some people riled up. And I said, no, I truly don't try to rile anyone up. We have too much of that right now. So I'm checking this one off the list, but he did say, if you want to share my entire message, please feel free.
And what Hooli was saying is pretty sure that day, they did already went by. Ask Dustin what the Powerball numbers will be on Wednesday, Milan says. What it could have been is Justin was in another group and somebody's like, Jack found it, meaning Jack. In other words, people are guessing who found it, and it just happened to be the same name.
So there's a couple of people that have messaged me that on one of the treasure Facebook pages, somebody said, my cousin Jack is the one that found it. It will come out eventually.
Oh,
and then they deleted it. And so who is Jack's cousin? What was the name? Nobody know. Everybody was in such a tizzy. That's what I've heard, but it was all second, third hand. I didn't get anything. Which group was it? If you are a moderator to a Forrest Fenn group, you can see the people that deleted in your group. Please go back to June 6th. Please look at the people, June 6th, 7th. Please see the people that or it would have had to been the 6th because it came out the night of the 6th. Yeah. So if they have deleted a comment, you will be able to see it and we can crack this baby. Dan, Joel, Jenny, Shannon, I don't know, Shannon, yeah.
Janet. Gross Pork says, why react so strongly? Meaning, why would Dustin put that whole long thing? Which, yeah, but I think he's just saying, hey, in another group, somebody said a Jack found it. He doesn't know any more than that. It'd be nice if he told us what group, but maybe he doesn't know.
My guess is he doesn't know. My guess is people noticed that before and they know, and they have contacted him. Like he said, you've asked me this before, and then gave me this huge long, and I was thinking, no, I didn't, but I
We may have
wonder.
talked about it before. I can't remember. Hooley said she PM'd him about it in February. So,
but then that person also commented on your chat without naming them. Who is that, Bobby? What do you mean?
yeah, who did?
I don't know what that means, but it means something. Tell me.
Bobby's got all the chats memorized.
I know he's a good little detective / treasure hunter.
Mm.
Okay, so that is Dustin Gate. We have put that. I do think Dustin would have not made it up. He was just kind of in the chat trying to be a part. I don't think he knows anything more than
right.
The one thing that I feel from this is someone said that Jack found it. Oh, hold on. I got messages.
It's from Jack. So Tony Russo says.
Okay. Yeah, he's saying he just doesn't remember. He had said, so some others have checked in with him on this same topic.
And I can see him saying another group said somebody named Jack found it. Like, he doesn't know. He's just reporting what somebody in another group said. But yeah, then it becomes, well, who was that person? And did they know something or not? But right. Tony Russi says, has Jack Stoof ever said that Fenn considered Madison Junction to be his War Warm Waters halt? Has this been confirmed in any way? I don't think Jack Stoof has ever confirmed that anyway.
Not that I have read anywhere.
Yeah,
Dustin is super honest and would never mess with searchers. I believe that strongly, and I believe one of the reasons that Dustin doesn't get involved in the Forrest Fenn is because, of all the craziness. I don't think he wouldn't make it. He's just not that person. And he's been around for years. He knows Mike. Okay. Next one. So that was Dustin. Okay. So I am going to call out somebody that said the other night in chat he was going to do this, and I want him to do it. And I know you might be lurking in chat, so I'm going to call you out to do it. When a particular documentarian, the last one that had the Forrest Fenn in his home interview, Forrest said, because I've seen the clip, he shared it with me, what the last two clues were. And he shared it with me, and I said, this really should get to the community. A lot of people have seen it because it's already in a trailer. He said on Saturday night, Jens Enser said on Saturday night he was going to make it available to everyone. I hope that happens, Jens. If you're watching, just let us know where the link is, because
that's not common knowledge yet. If I know what you're talking about, maybe I don't.
There's a difference between saying that Forrest said the blaze and then look quickly down or the last two, and hearing it in Forrest's voice.
I got you. Yeah.
So the Forrest voice portion is going to be, he said, shared with everyone.
Well, I think some people just can't accept how simple the poem was. Simple meaning here to there to there to there to there, and look down and there it is. Like, now figuring out where those locations are not easy, but anyway, that would be. And Jens, what's up with the documentary? Come on, get it going already.
Lucky Digger says this chat is going too fast. You have no idea when you're trying to like read something and then look, and I totally feel you.
Shame, gross pork, shame.
Okay, so let's go to the snippets that are different in the book. So I don't know when the edits were made. They were made before printing, obviously.
What did you just show? What was that?
This.
Oh yeah, Barbara Reese's book. Okay.
Barbara Reese's book. That's where I'm going next. So what I did was I brought up the version I was given, and it doesn't let me print it. I was going to print it and go to, but it won't let me print it. It's in a protected PDF Adobe Reader or something or other. And this one, and I just went word for word. So I did it the good old fashioned way, which means there is a human error component. But I caught at least 3 differences. This might be a nothing burger to you, but it's, I think, kind of fun.
3 differences in the Jack chapter?
I only went to the last 3 chapters because, quite honestly, if he edited when him and Cynthia went out, boots on the ground, or Beep or Sasha, could care less. I only care about the Jack part.
This could be breaking news, everybody, because I don't think anybody else has discussed it before. It's breaking news in that you know what the differences are. Now, does it mean anything? We'll see. But we always have the breaking news. All right,
well, and some people knew that I had the previous version. They're like, when are you going to do that? I did. Right. I tried to get time.
It's time.
Okay, so if you guys have the book and would like to follow along, I'm on page 326. In the chapter that starts, everything seemed to be going well for Stoof, better than he'd expected. And so, heartened by the reaction he received, he opened up a bit. Okay, there was one sentence removed right after that. The sentence says, Stoof even started answering searcher emails and posting replies on Dale's site. If you have Dale's site archived with all the comments, you might be in a really good spot right now.
That Jack posted on Dale's site in the comment section?
So in the previous version, before this was edited, in my version that was given by the editor pre-editing, it said, this is what was removed. Stoof even started answering searcher emails and posting replies on Dale's site.
Oh, really? That's interesting. We've never, I don't know of anybody that's seen that Jack posted on Dale's site after, this is after it was found, right?
Yes. I did not know that either.
And okay. And that's obviously why Dale pulled the site down, but okay. Oh, wrong one. Sorry. Bye,
Okay, I marked a page. I don't know why. Oh, here is a paragraph that was added. This is on page 325. This paragraph was added. I thought that whoever found, this is a quote from Jack. I thought that whoever found the chest would be absolutely hated because it ends everyone's dream, he said. That's something of a burden. I realize I put an end to something that meant so much for so many people.
Okay.
So a cute little quote. Okay, and then this is the other thing that was added. I'm going to go on page 322. I apologize, guys. I actually went backwards. I read the first last, and I actually think the first one was the best. But in the so I'm on page 322 when it starts. Stoof remains cagey about times and dates of his searches. He added in that paragraph at the end of found, which is the end of the first sentence. Later, he set up his laptop at the hotel and sat down to compose just the right email to send. He added that.
Just the right email to send?
Yes. Or
okay.
I should say he took that sentence out.
Oh, okay.
Later, he set up his laptop at his hotel and sat down to compose just the right email to send to Fenn.
Okay.
So here's the one thing. There's two things I want to note that when I reread these sections, I went, there's two things that popped out to me. The fake blaze being dismantled. Dan goes into heavy detail on what happened all the way through. Jack didn't mention, Dan does not mention in his book that Jack dismantled the blaze.
Right. I don't think that came out till later, but yeah.
That's
wait a minute. Jack didn't, you mean the fake blaze?
The fake blaze.
Yeah, okay. I want to make sure we're clear. The fake blaze. As far as we know, Jack hasn't done anything to the real blaze. It was damaged by nature or unreadable, however you want to put it. That's how Jack found it. And he has it. Now that would be a question though, is if it wasn't damaged, would he have disabled the real blaze so nobody could find it again? But okay.
Yeah. So, okay. Now here's the one that I want to talk about tonight. So Dan, when he put out the outside magazine article, this is what he said. And then here's what the book says. And I think there's a there. It's only a little nuance. So tell me if I've gone too far. So here's what it said in the outside magazine article. Once the time is right, he plans to sell the chest. When he does, he will try to honor the final wish of Fenn's, to have the chest end up in a specific place where searchers can view it, though he declined to say where. Okay. He wanted a certain party to buy it. That's what he said, a certain party to buy it. Okay. Then on page 324, he says he talked about his plans to sell the chest to someone who would display it for the search community to see. Right. Up to this point, I have been under the ill-conceived notion that it was going to go to a museum, Cody Museum, etc. This now says to me, there was a specific person, Douglas Press, whoever that is. This was a person rather than an entity. When you say a certain party can mean legally, the party could be the Cody Museum, etc. But when you say someone, there was a person designated to display and work all of that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it could be a searcher that wants to buy it and then charge and make money from it. You know, he'll display it cross country style and across the country, but charge money to get it. You know, who knows? Who knows?
Yes. Oh, and I think Gallatin has come in. Thank you. Watch this back. We have sang you some praises of some of the research you've been doing, and now I finally caught on. I finally come around. Okay, so are we good with that one?
That's kind of interesting, especially that Jack was answering on Dale's blog. But yeah.
Yeah, that one's kind of interesting. Okay.
All right.
Now, my last one for tonight, and I think we're right at the.
Yeah, we're at 1 hour.
Yes. So I went back over the Smell the Sunshine video and TTOTC because it always caught me as strange that Jack was asking about two things in the treasure that wasn't there and not other items like the gems, etc. Well, there wasn't too much there. Forrest said that he took out some of the big gems. But can you bring up those 3 pictures I sent you earlier?
Yeah. Give me a minute.
Christy, the curator said in an interview that he wanted it to go to the Smithsonian. That's not a someone. Someone, you might be right, but someone would own it. It seems now that it's someone, not he's giving it to the Smithsonian. He's giving it to a person like Douglas Preston, Shiloh, whoever, to then negotiate where it would be displayed. There's a big difference to me. There's a person that knows a little bit more. We need to beat the research into Kpro. Yes, it takes me a while. I'm fine with that, especially because of the conspiracy bridges. Okay, do you have what I sent you?
Yeah, give me a second. I got it.
Exactly. Okay, Lucky Digger brings up a good point. Yes.
Yeah.
You guys do the shows that help me with the little things that could become big things, like the Blaze. The Blaze was made by Forrest Fenn, breaking news, and then I just get a little luck, like, oh, can we give you the previous version? And Jack was posting on Dale's site after the find. Go and find that. I know a lot of you guys have archived the comments section of Dale's site. That might come in handy now.
Maybe. All right, here we go.
Okay, this one's just kind of a weird conspiracy.
Can you
so
see?
I thought to myself, why? Yeah, I need all 3 pictures though. So Jack meets up with Forrest. I gave you all 3, right?
Yeah, but they're not on the same page. Yeah, I'll show all 3.
So Jack meets up. Okay, bring this down for a second. Let me tee this up.
Okay.
So Jack meets up with Forrest and says, "Hey, by the way, there's a couple items missing out of the chest." And Forrest goes, "Really? What's missing?" The emerald ring, the golden frog, and that's it. Well, if you go back over, thank you, Dan Barbarisi, for all of your pictures that are up. If you look at the catalog, there was actually 3 items missing. But let's go over what we already know is missing, and then the item that has not been discussed yet. And I just find it perplexing. So I don't really have a conclusion.
Might be breaking news. I don't know where Kpro's going with this.
It's really not a huge thing. It just, It's always made me wonder why, like, if I'm sitting with $1 million treasure chest, would I be going, hey, where's the little frog that you said? Maybe I would, but
because everybody's talked about the frog so much, I could see, like, where's the
frog? That frog was in there. Okay.
Well, the other frog, right? The other frog. I got you.
Right. Okay. So let's bring up.
So this was missing, is that right?
Okay, let's go to the other 2 first. So the emerald ring.
Okay. This is a picture of it?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe it's up on Thor. Somebody says that's the picture, and I'm just gonna go with it. So and Smell the Sunshine's video corresponds that there should have been an emerald ring. So it looks like it was this. He said it was missing, and Forrest said, I don't know where it went. So the next one is not the frog that is mine.
This one,
frog. Actually, I'd take either one. This one was missing. Well, Forrest went to his vault and eventually got it to the attorneys
to give to the lawyer
in here. Yes.
Yep.
that eventually put it in here. But Jack specifically noted these 2 items. Well, one item that is defined, if he's going through in TTOTC and Smell the Sunshine's video and saying these are the items, this is from Smell the Sunshine's video. There is a necklace that did not show up the day that Forrest had all the stuff out or the day that Dan had all the stuff out.
Well, could it be in one of the bags, maybe?
The things were not in the bags when it came to Forrest. Now, could it have been under something that wasn't in a bag and then later in a bag? It's possible. This is why it's the beginning of the conspiracy theory. Maybe some of you that know Jack well enough could ask, this item seems to be missing, but was not asked for and was not discussed in this or any of the Medium articles. Wow.
Oh, that's interesting.
I
Yeah,
have no idea.
I don't know about that one. That's okay. So it looks like a chain with a nugget with a gem in it of some kind.
No,
that's
what's on the bracelet. That's a
turquoise.
Turquoise. That's a turquoise.
The whole thing is turquoise, or just
No,
this
no,
little part?
just a little thing. It's like embedded in it or something.
Oh, in a rock or something.
Yeah.
That
No,
was
it's a
gold,
gold nugget
Oh, it
with
is
a
a gold
turquoise bead in it.
Gotcha. Gold nugget with turquoise bead in it. Well, there's a question. What do you people that Jack's talking to? Just email them and say, hey, was the turquoise nugget or the gold nugget with the turquoise bead in the treasure chest? Yeah.
And then why isn't it? Because the only thing that Dan said that he did not take out was the stuff that didn't matter, which was the scissors and the paper towel and the dragon bracelet. Everything else was out and cataloged. We have pictures of everything that Dan cataloged.
Okay.
So it's still working its way. It's a possible conspiracy.
Possible.
I think Jack kept a few things for himself. Got to keep something. Nomadic Madman, he says he doesn't care about things. He's burdened by things, and absolutely he did not. Now you might, maybe the story will evolve, kind of like how long was the fake Blaze out there, Alan Kelly. I think he said something a little bit different. Maybe not. Maybe it's just, I guess more than a year, and then saying it's been out there for years is the same thing technically. I think there's a there because I'm a conspiracy theory person.
So is there any information about the chest being sold yet?
From what I understand, yes. I've seen some emails. I've not been given the okay to share them, and they aren't, because they're not mine, I can't. But from what I understand, it is going up for auction. Oh, let's talk about that.
Ooh.
Do you guys think okay, so I said to Mike, what if we mortgaged the house and all of our retirement and bought the chest?
I mean, right here, 777 would do it, right? I could sell that on eBay and get all kinds of money. But yeah, Kpro in a serious way said, what if me and you wanted to buy the treasure chest when it goes up from auction from Jack? And I said, Kpro said, what? And she explained how it's a possibility. And I said, that is an interesting discussion.
So Mike didn't say no. And
That's
so who do you call when you want to have these kind of crazy discussions? Because it was crazy. I called Indy. And I said, what do you think? And Indy went, are you kidding? You think you have the trolls and predators out for you now.
That's right.
If you got the treasure chest, no one would believe that it was just out of your own money. It's a part of the conspiracy. So I kind of threw out the idea.
Oh, I see.
Because I'm like, you're kind of right. Those guys, I mean, if I breathe, it's something conspiracy related. Their fixation and stalking is so crazy. So then I did say no, but then I thought, if they're already hating, then we could have a treasure chest and make sure it gets to the community, and we could do treasure hunts for the next 20 years. And
wouldn't that be cool?
Be one of the gold eagles to
do a treasure hunt, like one in every state. There's 265 gold eagles. Do one gold eagle in every state. I mean, to do that over long term, that would really be cool.
And Indy says, but Indy says no. That's exactly.
Candy already shut it down.
Yeah, but then somebody else reached out to me and said, what if I were to invest 6 figures, a few of us got together, so it wouldn't, because it would completely drain, and I don't even know if we could bid high enough. But wouldn't that be cool if someone in the community, and then it became our treasure hunts for the next 20 years, like grand adventure for one of the gold eagles from the Forrest Fenn treasure hunt.
I mean, whoever does buy it, and eventually somebody's going to buy it, let's hope there's somebody in the community that would give people a real chance of owning part of it. That would really be cool.
Oh, Copper Princess will never let you. She's not even letting you do little coins from your treasure hunts. You never did that much money. No way. Carrie Galloway said Indy ruined it for all of us. No, but seriously, let me ask you a serious question. Do you think that would be cool, or do you think that's going to cause so many issues? But who cares? The only issues are with haters, and they're always going to be haters. 20 years from now, they're going to be doing
Yeah, I don't care about those people. I mean, I don't care about them now. I wouldn't care about them with whatever we do, whatever treasure hunt we end up doing. But anyway, a lot of people have brought up the question of do a GoFundMe, let the community put money together and buy the treasure chest. But that comes with some problems. So a GoFundMe's got to be what, $1 million minimum to, I mean, really that many searchers are going to donate that much money? No, that's not going to happen, in my opinion. Problem is the people who do donate, what do you do with the treasure chest if we did buy it? How do you split that up? How do you, there's a lot of legal issues, I think, of how do you do that? I mean, if you donate $100, you get to look at it. If you do, so that's why I've never taken the GoFundMe thing seriously, because if you do buy it, what do you do then? Like, how do people get their money back or whatever?
No, but if there was 2 or 3 people, and I know 2 or 3 people that have I know 4 people that are going to bid on the chest.
Right.
What if somehow we pooled? Maybe it's 3 of us.
Right.
And the big thing is it should be displayed. We would do that, and then we get it out to the community. I think
if 3 to 5 people were to put the money in, obviously you have to play a game of Chaseopoly and it's winner take all, in my opinion. That would be, and video, of course, for YouTube live.
First prize at the next WSOF is the gold frog.
Oh, geez. I think we'd have a couple more people show up.
Oh,
speaking of World Series of Fenn, Frank Barley says, can you pre-register for the World Series of Poker tournaments at the Rio? You can, but I don't know what date they're going to let people do that. You definitely can pre-register, and you should, because if you show up the day of or the day before, the lines are all through the hallways. The lines are crazy. So yes, you can pre-register, but I don't know when this year.
Mary Green says you have to get the solve, otherwise it's wasting money. He's already said it's not a part of it, so we need to go in knowing that. And the autobiography, it could just be read to everyone. We can't reproduce it, but it could be given.
To open it live on YouTube, break the seal and read it live, right? I mean, that would be huge. That's what we would do if we ever got it. That's what we would do. Randy's in for $1.
Okay. James says, in 20 years, would you at least wish you had secured the treasure? Exactly. I want to live with no regrets. I might be living under a bridge after it, but the gold alone, we could get part of.
Well, I would just like to see one of the gold coins from Forrest Fenn's treasure chest on eBay that starts at $1. How high would that go? I mean, the coin itself might be worth $2,500, but how high would it go? Because it was a coin from Forrest Fenn's treasure chest. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, David says no one will pay more than $2 million. I think it's going to go, if I were to guess, over 1.5 million, under 2 would be my guess. I know somebody that is willing to pay over $1 million. And I know a couple people that have enough money that they say that they're going to stay around $1 million because it's just not worth it. Otherwise, I think they're going to go up from it.
Gary Galloway says you'd break the still and spill coffee all over it. So it became unreadable. That'd be hilarious. There's a good April Fool's Day joke for everybody.
I just think Indy, we're just playing. No, this could be fun. I could give one of the gold eagles to Indy to do for one of her and Copper Dan's get solved in like 9 minutes. We would give him a gold eagle to put out for one of his hunts. Wouldn't that be cool? If you were a part of the community beforehand, this would be the way to pay it forward. I just think
it would be.
And let me not be pretending. We would want to make some money. So you might get charged $20 or $30 to buy in, because we
they're going to clip that and you're going to be hated, Kpro.
I know.
God forbid you make a profit in America. David Crump says anyone who can pay $3 million would just buy their own gold and probably already has their own gold. But that's the point, David Crump. Anybody who has $3 million and wants the Forrest Fenn treasure chest, they're going to get it. They're going to spend the money to get it. They're collectors. When they put their eyes on something, they want to get it.
Listen to this, Mike. Some people, they were talking about this last week, and they convinced Adam that Forrest was actually the Omega Man, and all those gold eagles are the Omegas with the little Omega, and it's worth $300 million. And so we're going to buy it for $1 million. We're going to be able to sell it for $300 million. Do you see the return on investment? It's better
the
than
Omega Man. Who is that? Who's the Omega Man? I know the movie, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know what? You need to get an Indies chat Saturday night at midnight.
Okay. All right.
If I buy the chest, I'm going to turn the gold frog into a necklace and wear it every time I'm around Kpro. Copper Dan, you're going to be doing that as a single man. And I have seen when your wife goes out of town for a day, how you fall apart. I am not worried about bidding against you. And a part of it is just fun to think about. But if we mortgaged everything and got a couple of investors, we might be able to make a go. Would you? Okay. Say.
Oh, okay, Brett. Now I know who the Mega Man is. Got it. Okay.
Thumbs up if you think it should potentially be discussed. Thumbs down or no. Thumbs up or yes, or thumbs down and no if you go, oh my God, that'd be a shitstorm. Don't do it. So yes, if you think it's a good idea to at least explore potentially bidding on it, because you got to get your assets in the right spot and all of that. Thumbs down if you say, no, don't do it. It will cause so much drama. You guys don't do that. Your kids need to eat. You know, you have animals, your animals might die because you can't feed them because you're going to use every last cent because it would kind of be.
Man in the barn. Haven't talked to you in a while. So Kpro would break the chest up. For shame, Lucky Digger says. Of course we break it up. That's the only way you can get it in the hands of searchers. And
well,
you know,
except if you.
Why should only one searcher get it that has a lot of money?
Wait, except if it's like the Smithsonian. Maybe it needs to be in the Smithsonian for the first 5 years. And then after that, it gets broken. I don't know.
Maybe it needs to be on display over here at Caesar's Palace, like they did James Fry Endgame gold. All that gold was in a case for a year while that treasure hunt was going on. Could you imagine? Just like the Binions had the $1 million in the gold case. Could you imagine Forrest Fenn's treasure being on display in the casino for everybody to go see it for free? That would be awesome. I mean, something like that.
Okay, we have a yes, no, yes, 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 no, no. Thumbs up for your kids not needing to eat. No. Okay, so it's really 50-50. Wow.
How can it be sold if lawsuits are still pending? Well, that has.
Oh, that's true. You're kind of adopting that liability, right?
And
Walking Amongst Lions posted today that if it's a civil suit, it's a 4-year statute of limitations. So we're only a year in.
Well, you know, whoever buys it, what is going to be anonymous? I mean, is that an option in a public auction? Can you buy it and remain anonymous? I think you can, right? Yes. Yeah. So you know, whoever buys it can do that.
Not to the auction house, but to everybody else.
Everybody else, they won't. So
you can't just call up and say, "I want to bid. Tell me all about it." You have to actually show assets, etc. This is how I understand it.
Escrow,
and then when you get into the bidding process, no one knows who you're. This person, you know, number 116, 119, 112, whatever. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice idea, but to actually go through with it.
Holly just woke up. She didn't hear the question. Do you think we should buy the treasure chest potentially with us? It's going to take some other people and drain us, but we would get it out to the community and we would do what Forrest wanted. We would display it and then do some fun things with it, or no way, too much crazy. And Holly, you know, you're in all the chats. You know how crazy can be.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's hope the auction is public whenever it does come out. What's that?
Forrest and a Mega Man together, Forrest and Eric together were the Mega Man. Maybe. See, and that would just be worth so much more. Anyway, you can. The
Cowlazars woke up.
I was gonna say the other kitties up here. So
yeah.
Anyway, I just thought it would be fun to think about. I actually don't know if it's even realistic because draining retirement accounts and things you can't touch for 30 years is. Anyway, okay.
I just want the Beacon Star gold coin. That's the only gold coin I need. Isn't that right, Randy?
You know what? We would call Randy and say, Randy, let's add a gold eagle to yours. Let's see how many people we can get going
adding to other treasure hunts. That's an interesting idea. Yeah.
You see?
I just want a gold coin. I've never owned a gold coin. I just want a gold coin. That's all.
That's it.
I just want a roly in a dabber ranch. Anyway, okay, everybody, we're getting delirious. So it is 8:15. Anything else, Kpro? Thank you for the breaking news. There's a couple things I learned today I did not know before. What?
Okay, all tiebreakers. JVR Princess puts a thumbs down.
Well, she said it's too many legal issues and people would hate you. And yeah, there's
okay. Well, then it's a no.
Things happen, right?
Then it's a no.
Then it's a no. That's right.
Lady. Okay. It's blowing up. Okay. That's all I have.
And JBR Princess, now that you know we moved to Henderson, the Jingle Bell Rock is going to be way up north this year, right? We moved down to the area to be closer, and it's going to go all the way up.
Ooh, let's get Ashton Kutcher to buy. Let's get Kanye West. He now lives in Wyoming. Let's get him to buy.
West, I mean, they would have the money, that's for sure.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, okay, guys. So we went over Cynthia Gate, Nook Gate, Shrine Gate, Dan's book, the 3-part email. That was a novel in itself. The Blaze with right. Alan Kay. Forrest Fenn made the Blaze, fairy tales. Dustin White Gate is now over. Person display is a person that was going to display the chest and chest contents. How can you get much more content? That is so much content for you guys to have.
And if he's watching, I do got to say thank you, Dustin. He knows why. He knows what he did. It has nothing to do with the chase or Jack, but he did something for me. So thanks, Dustin. I appreciate it.
I have no idea. Okay, so that's all we have. I do have to say there's some new conspiracies forming. Fairy tale was the patient was on the table, but now the patient's getting a little better. Yeah.
Well, so Kpro thinks Thursday we should set aside the Beacon Star. We should take it and set it aside and actually do a show with this guy in this Utah hunt. The problem is the Utah hunt could be over by Thursday, Kpro. We just don't know.
Right. But he does it annually, and he can talk about the person that won it. Either way.
Yeah, that's true.
But you have to remember, he's in the middle of the hunt, so you actually have to email him, dear sir.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
All right. Super Brad Az says 75% of you are actors and or dumb. All right. Well, thumbs up for Super Brad and his comment. All right. Is there an after party? I was not going to do a Zoom tonight, everybody. We will do a lot of people want to do a tell me who Zoom 3dbronze.com/tell me who. He's giving it away, isn't he? He's made like 6 hint videos so far, but nah, not tonight. I'm not going to do a video tonight. Thursday, after whatever Thursday show is, we can do a tell me who Zoom. We could do a Beacon Star Zoom. We could do whatever Zoom people want to do.
She wants to do a Utah treasure Zoom.
Oh God. Oh, well, you are going in the morning, so I guess maybe. All right, maybe, Indy. We'll see. JBR Princess says, okay, another topic. Why at the end of Vegas Die does Grogan say Forrest Fenn instead of Forrest Fenn? Anyone still looking at Vegas Die? Yeah, that one kind of fell off, didn't it? I don't even know if Grogan is still looking at Vegas Die. So somebody's got to reach out to him and find out, is that still a valid, what's going on? So are you and Kpro still doing the Arizona Legend Has It hunt? We would. It's just, we had a Zoom for that for a while, but nobody really knows where it is. So yeah, I mean, Arizona, we would go. If somebody has a spot, we definitely would go look, Milan.
Status on July meetup. There was Fenbury that was supposed to be getting organized. Amy Seeks. I have not seen a show from her. I have not seen any updates. I was told her and Desert File were organizing it. I saw her say that on I haven't been in a lot of her stuff, and I haven't seen her on a lot. So you're going to have to message her directly. The Vegas one, it's 117 here right now. I'm not doing the Vegas one. I deferred at the time to the Fenbury one. And if the Fenbury one falls apart, that's unfortunate. Maybe they'll do it later. I can tell you, we will have information out on the World Series of Fenn momentarily. We're actually talking to a different casino because we want to try to get you guys some better deals.
We may move it.
We may move it. So we're going to go talk to one of the bosses at another casino, actually 2 other casinos, but we'll at least know the dates relatively soon, which I think is going to be February 6th, but we're still working on that.
Looking at you, Jana. February 6th, everybody. That is the weekend before the Super Bowl, just so you know, February 5th, Saturday, February 5th.
Yeah, February 5th.
But all weekend we would, usually that's the Super Bowl. But for whatever reason this year, the Super Bowl is Sunday, February 13th. Actually, I've not looked that up myself, but Kpro better be right. So it's the second Sunday in February, the Super Bowl next year. So we were thinking of doing it.
Oh, I looked that up on NFL.com or something crazy like that.
Okay. So yeah, come on out to Vegas. Who knows who's going to be here? Who knows what we're going to be talking about at that time? And Jack, you know, you're invited. Just put on a fake nose and glasses. Nobody will know you. Okay. Yeah, a lot of treasure hunts going on. We got a Utah. We got a Legend Has It in Arizona. We got a Beacon Star in Denver. We've got the Jingle Bell Rock coming up in 6 months here in Vegas. We got
not 6.
A lot of different things.
5
months. Sorry. Thanksgiving. We're definitely going to get involved in that one again, aren't we, Kpro? We've learned our lesson. We got to keep an open mind on those clues.
And I think that's why there's one person in this chat that I know has a good solve for the Utah one. And I think he thinks I'm going to walk right by it, like I notoriously do, but I'm bringing Cowlazars. This is going to be girl trip. I'm going either way. But, oh, that's what I was going to say. I am willing to go out to your spot for you if you want me to go look for it. I will try not to walk by it. I promise. Trust me, it will be fun.
Kpro wants to redeem herself is what she wants to do. So go out there and find it tomorrow, Kpro.
Yeah, so
it'll be 101 out there tomorrow, so be careful. I got to work. So what kind of blaze made by Forrest would be nearly impossible to remove? Oh, that's a good point, Tony. So if Forrest Fenn did in fact make the blaze, people asked him, can it be destroyed? And he said, well, it wouldn't be feasible. I mean, if he carved something in stone, how are you going to remove that? Would it be feasible? I don't know. I mean, that is a good point, though. That is a good point. Post Utah hunt link again. Of course, I got rid of it. Let me see if I can find it.
And somebody did ask me what eggs meant. So when we were discussing Vegas, I kept putting Vegas and it auto corrected. You guys know I don't check my stuff, lots of typos. And it kept saying, let's do one in eggs this, eggs that. Finally, Adam was like, what the hell is eggs? And I went back and looked at the chat and I'm like, every time you see eggs, put Vegas. And it's kind of been a running joke now that I'm actually going to get, I'm going to be serving Adam eggs when he gets here because
egg fight.
It's now the running joke. 3D Bronze has a new section on his site that is called Daily Riddles.
Oh, cool.
I'm waiting on the third one. Oh, very cool. Bobby D,
3D Bronze was
message me where I need to be tomorrow.
All right. UtahTreasureHunt.com, everybody. If you think you might know where it is, Kpro's thinking of going tomorrow. Reach out. You guys work out the split. I have to approve it. And then Kpro will go find it for you.
No, don't do that. The split is 6,000 to me, 4,000 to you.
She already knows.
Basically 50-50 plus I get a little bit for expenses of it's going to take about $1,000 to get everything. Yeah. Right. So it's basically a 50-50 split. You have to be okay with that before you give me your solve. And the only thing, if you were to email me, if you say, are you willing to go for me? I'm in this general area or this park or this trail, tell me that generically first. I already have somebody that I am working with. If you're on the same trail, I will say, no, I can't. And I'll probably see you tomorrow. If you say I'm in whichever park or whichever trail, I'll say, I'm not searching there yet. Let me hear your solve. We'll go back and forth. There's one that's pretty good. So, but we'll see. It always takes just one and to not walk by it.
And to not walk by it. That's right. Okay, everybody, there it is. Some breaking news about the Forrest Fenn treasure found. Thursday will either be Beacon Star or this Utah treasure hunt. I don't know which one yet, but tune in, subscribe and tune in and you'll find out. I know Randy's going to tune in because now we're starting to get to the good part in the Beacon Star. So, okay. All right, everybody. Thanks, Kpro, for all those updates. We do appreciate it. And we'll see everybody. We hope you have a good week. We'll see you on Thursday. And Kpro can give us a report, unless she's still in Utah for some reason. Wouldn't that be something? Kpro can give us an update on what's going on in Utah. Searcher meetup, Salt Lake City. I don't know. Is anybody out there that we know in Salt Lake City?
Yeah, several people. Once I posted, I was going to, they're like offering me their home or their second home and stuff. It's awesome.
Nice. Okay. It's all about social networking. Okay, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you on Thursday. Bye.